there guys, and welcome to a Dash of Sports Premier League review. I'll be your host, the presenter Dashiki Dash, and as per usual, I'll be giving you the roundups and results from all the games from this past week. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also remember to keep an eye out for my main show itself, a Dash of Sports, where I'll be talking about all things sports related, hot topics and trending stories. So press that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my shows. But hey, in the meantime, let's get into these games. And welcome back to a Dash of Sports Premier League review, game week 17. Happy New Year, happy 2021, and I hope you had a wonderful Christmas festive period despite all the restrictions and just all the madness of 2020. I still hope you had a wonderful entry into the new year. 2021, we're here, and it's just been a crazy period, a busy period for football, Premier League football. Pre, mid and post Christmas, the games have just been coming thick and fast, and it looks like we ain't stopping anytime soon, especially with all of this, lockdown and more restrictions. The Premier League elite sport is still continuing, and man, without further ado, I just want to jump straight into it. This past week, game week 17, I'm going to give you the roundup and results. Starting off with the evening game this Monday just gone, and then I'm going to be working my way backwards. Southampton versus Liverpool. Well, Danny Ings inflicted Liverpool's second defeat of the season. The former Red Striker's second minute goal earned Southampton a 1-0 win over the current champions. Now that's definitely a dent in Liverpool's title defence. Like I said, that's already 2 losses this season. No wins in their last 3, more drop points. Although they're sitting, top of the table, league leaders, 33 points. But Man United are right behind them, also on 33 points. Second to goal difference, but Man United have got a game in hand. Yeah, man, Liverpool. It's going to be tough to defend this title this season. Danny Ings produced his 50th Premier League goal of his career against his former club when he hooked James Ward-Prowse's free kick over Alisson, which was the magic moment of the game, a real top-class finish. Another standout moment was when Nathan Tella curled narrowly wide on the stroke of half-time. Southampton really finished strong during that first half. Although Liverpool pushed hard for an equaliser in the second half, it wasn't until the 75th minute that Sadio Mane had his first shot on target. The former Saints forward forced a save from Fraser Foster as the keeper himself was making his first league appearance since May 2019. And also, Yan Valu could have scored a second Southampton goal when Alisson raced out his area, but the Frenchman's shot lacked some power, and it was struggling to reach the goal. Now imagine, Southampton's first win in 5 matches actually takes them up to 6th place in the league on 29 points. Southampton, man, they're riding high up there. And now Liverpool, man, that's their second defeat, like I mentioned earlier on. Second defeat of the campaign, but they remain top on goal difference from their next opponents, Manchester United. That is going to be a real grudge match. Liverpool versus Man United, Oh man, that's a hard game to call right there. Like, who would you put your money on? Who would you put your money on? Put your comments down below and let me know, man, because sheesh. I know it's a derby, grudge match and all of that, but yeah, there's no fans, no atmosphere, so I don't know, man. Just listen, all we can just hope and pray for is at least a decent match to watch. But most importantly for Liverpool, I think, is the fact that they need 3 points. No wins in the last 3. And this is the reason why everybody's on their neck right now. Breathing at the back of their neck with Man United with 33 points, same points. You've got like 3 or 4 teams on 29 points, which is Southampton included. Listen, I don't want to just make this about Liverpool because Southampton are doing their thing as well. That Ralph Hasenhüttl, I'm sorry if I butchered his name, I always get it wrong. Wreck-It Ralph, he's doing bits at Southampton, and who would have known? Like with that 9-0 defeat against Leicester, you got to rate Southampton because they held on to their manager, didn't sack him, and now look what he's doing. Real bits, doing bits. Yeah, man, full ratings for him. He's definitely one of the managers that I would say, listen, if one day, if it was the case that Arteta was sacked or anything like that, I would love to have Ralph Hasenhüttl. I would love him at Arsenal, or even like Brendan Rodgers. So those are 2 of my managers that I would say are the top managers this season. And now moving on to Sunday's round of games, and speaking of Brendan Rodgers himself, Leicester equalled their club record to close in on Liverpool, the league leaders. James Maddison and Yuri Tielemans struck as Leicester City secured a 5th win at Newcastle, beating them 2-1 and moving 1 point behind the Premier League leaders. Jamie Vardy had his first half goal ruled out for offside and volleyed wide from a narrow angle soon after the break before setting up the 55th minute opener. Receiving the ball on the left side of the box on the counter-attack, Vardy teed up Maddison, who powered his shot past goalkeeper Cardallo. Leicester then doubled their lead on the 72nd minute as Mark Albrighton pulled the ball back to Tielemans, who whipped a first-time finish inside the right post. Newcastle substitute Andy Carroll gave the Magpies some much-needed hope, volleying in to score his first goal since returning back to St James's Park in August 2019, but the hosts were unable to equalise and the game ended 2-1 to Leicester City. Leicester equalled a club record by winning 5 successive away Premier League matches against a single opponent and climbed to 3rd on 32 points, 1 point behind Liverpool and Manchester United. And I don't know, it's all tight up there. 1 point, 2 or 3 points separating at least 5 teams at the present moment, and it's too early to say that there's a title race. But if these teams keep pushing each other like this, come what, February, March, then I can say, listen, a good title race is on. But for now, all the teams, all they can do right now is just get the points on the board and just see where it takes them. But remember, last season, Leicester City were in the top 4 for ages. And then it just went all crumbling. Went tits up, as they say. But who knows, man, what the reasons were. Was it the fact that they had no strength and depth in their squad? Or was it the fact that Brendan Rodgers, man, choking again? Who knows? But for now, listen, if they stay anywhere close to the likes of Liverpool, Man United, they're currently on 32 points. Listen, they're doing themselves a world of good. Just keep winning the games, and who knows, at the end of the season, you know, Brendan Rodgers once again could be in the Champions League, and this time with a Premier League club. And now moving on to the next game, Chelsea versus Manchester City, and man, Frank Lampard. Listen, there's pressure now, man. There has to be pressure. Surely there is, man. 200 million spent, and he's struggling. Last year, listen, he had a free hit last year. Now that he was given the P's to make his squad and buy the players that you want, you got to do something with it. It's going to take time, yes, but knowing a team like Chelsea and their history with managers, I don't know, man. Is his legendary status going to save him this time? Who knows? But listen, more misery for him, and there's one team that you're going to play against and they're not going to lighten up the mood. No way, no how. Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne each claimed a goal and an assist as Manchester City earned an impressive 3-1 victory against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Ilkay Gundogan opened Man City's account with a great turn and shot from Foden's pass on the 18th minute, and then Foden's precise finish from De Bruyne's low cross doubled their tally 3 minutes later. Kevin De Bruyne then put the visitors firmly in control with a third on the 34th minute, reacting quickest to slot into the net after Raheem Sterling's initial effort had cannoned off the far post. Zach Steffen, making his Premier League debut for the visitors, made a smart stop to keep out Cesar Azpilicueta's header, but Chelsea struggled to create any clear-cut chances. It could have actually been worse for Chelsea as Rodrigo's header was saved by Eduardo Mendy before Callum Hudson-Odoi scored in stoppage time as a consolation for the Blues. Man City now have 29 points and move up to 5th, 4 points off their rivals Liverpool and Manchester United with a game in hand, as Chelsea now drop to 8th on 26 points. Now moving on to Saturday's round of games. Yeah! Come on, Arsenal! This frown has been turned upside down. The last 3 games, I've been in a good, nice winter wonderland, enjoying finally Arsenal bringing some joy to my life. I'm not coming on here and complaining and having to almost at times even skip Arsenal's results because I just can't take it. But this time round, hey, last 3 games, we've been doing well. West Bromwich Albion versus Arsenal as the Gunners scored twice in each half to earn a 3rd straight Premier League victory, beating West Brom 4-0 at the Hawthorns. The Gunners started strongly and took the lead through man of the match Kieran Tierney's fine solo goal as the defender had the beating of Darnell Furlong before cutting in inside and finding the top right hand corner. West Brom did have a chance during the game as Matt Phillips stung the palms of Bert Leno before Arsenal doubled their advantage in the 28th minute. Emile Smith-Rowe squared the ball to Bukayo Saka to tap in from close range after a slick passing move that involved Lacazette. Alexander Lacazette then pounced on a loose ball on the hour mark to score for the third match in a row before converting Tierney's cross to double his tally 4 minutes later. Man, I almost forgot how it feels like to actually be enjoying your team winning games. Like, man, we needed these back-to-back victories, man. 3 games on a bounce. We haven't done that this season, I don't think. Man, the turning point definitely was Chelsea. Then going on to Brighton, which was just as important. So it's all good beating Chelsea, a big game, but going to Brighton needed those 3 points, and then going to West Brom under those snowy conditions. But the Iceman himself, Tierney, helped us to get that first goal. And yeah, man, he was man of the match. Just literally that energy, that drive, that captain mentality is definitely going to be one of our future captains. And then you got the likes of Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe that was also just contributing to the vibe. Lacazette as well. Great performance. And this is what's needed, because the way the league is right now is very tight. We were 15th, yes. A lot of banter in terms of relegation, all that kind of talk. But it just shows you, man, a couple of wins, a couple of back-to-back wins just pushes you up. We were 15th, we're only 11th now, but 23 points. I'm actually just looking at the points now. I'm not really looking at the league position. I'm looking at the points. 23 points. We're only 3 points behind Chelsea, who, you know, once upon a time was supposedly challengers for the title this season. And yes, if you keep winning games, you're going to go up. So I see the difference of games will be like, if you lose 2, you really drop. If you win 2, it propels you closer and closer. And for Arsenal, we need to get back into those European positions. And I'm just hoping for Champions League this season. But it's going to be tough, definitely. But just got to keep supporting. And El Jefe, El Patron, Mikel Arteta. Yeah, man, got to keep believing, keep supporting. And hopefully he can pull it off and try and bring us back to the promised land. And now moving on to the next game, Brighton versus Wolves as a second half comeback earned Brighton a point. The Seagulls overturned a 2-goal half-time deficit to draw 3-3 with Wolves at the Amex Stadium. The home side took an early lead through Aaron Conley, who beat Rui Patricio via Leandro Trossard's cross after 13 minutes. But Wolves soon hit back, remained sides heading in Nelson Semedo's cross before Robert Sanchez parried from Pedro Neto's shot, hit Dan Bird before rebounding into his own net. Burns' night got worse as he fouled Adama Traore inside the area and Ruben Neves converted the penalty just before the break. Brighton hit back with a spot kick of their own just 50 seconds after the break, Neil Maupay scoring after he had been fouled by João Moutinho. Shortly after that, Adam Webster hit the bar from a corner, and then Lewis Dunk deflected a header from another Trossard corner, which pulled the sides level on the 70th minute. Brighton then pushed for the winner, but the best chance fell to Wolves substitute Owen Otasowie, who headed over from close range with the last touch of the match. The Seagulls stay 17th on 14 points, 3 above the relegation zone, while Wolves dropped to 13th with 22 points. Now, what's going on with Wolves nowadays? Well, you know what? I really agree with the boys that everyone's a pundit, and they were saying exactly what I was thinking. Like, Wolves have a load of individual players that you'd be like, yeah, this player, that player. But when they come together now, it's like they don't always perform. They don't always get the results that they need. And it's a shame because they've got quality players. But yeah, man, they're sitting in 12th right now. And the table don't lie. You got to win your games, and they're not getting enough points for the type of talent that they got. So we're just yet to see what's going to happen with them. Can they push for European places yet again this season? I don't know. I can't really see them pushing for Champions League. Europa maybe, but anything else besides that, nah. I don't think they're good enough. Now, what's going on with Wolves nowadays? Well, you know what? I really agree with the boys that everyone's a pundit. And they were saying exactly what I was thinking. Like, Wolves have a load of individual players that you'd be like, yeah, this player, that player. But when they come together now, it's like they don't always perform. They don't always get the results that they need. And it's a shame because they've got quality players. But yeah, man, they're sitting in 12th right now. And the table don't lie. You got to win your games, and they're not getting enough points for the type of talent that they got. So we're just yet to see what's going to happen with them. Can they push for European places yet again this season? I don't know. I can't really see them pushing for Champions League. Europa maybe, but anything else besides that, nah. I don't think they're good enough. Crystal Palace versus Sheffield United. And man, let me just say this, yeah. Sheffield United, the funeral director is getting your relegation tombstone ready. Just writing out your name, chipping away, and then the undertakers will come and just take you lot down because, man, there's no chance of survival. No chance. Eberechi Eze struck a superb individual goal as Crystal Palace claimed a 2-0 win over Sheffield United at Selhurst Park. Palace's fastest Premier League goal in 3 years gave them the great start after Jeffrey Schlupp guided a Christian Benteke pass in the 4th minute. Eze, who had replaced the injured Schlupp, ran from about the halfway line, beating several players before curling the ball home in the first half of the stoppage time. It wasn't all smiles for Palace as they also lost Benteke to a dead leg shortly into the second half, and they became content to soak up the pressure from the Blades. The closest the visiting side came was when substitute Antoine Hackford, who became their youngest Premier League player at 16 years and 288 days old, saw his goal-bound shot cleared by Joe Ward. This was actually Palace's first win in 6, which now lifts them up to 14th, currently on 22 points, while Sheffield United, currently winless at the bottom of the table, just only on 2 points. Man, second season syndrome kicked in full effect. What happened? What happened? But listen, they're one of the teams that really suffered when it came to Project Restart. No fans, nothing, like, you know. I don't know if that's the reason why they're shagging and flopping right now, but whatever it is, they just got to think about the championship now. I'll gladly start waving goodbye to them from early because there's absolutely no chance they're going to survive. 2 points on the board. I can't even see them getting 10 points. At 2 points on the board so far, nah, survival rate is 0. And now moving on to Tottenham versus Leeds in a game that saw Leeds dominate, playing the better football, but Tottenham, man, this season, I gotta put my hands up, man. I admire the way they've just been so clinical this season. They don't really need possession. The possession-based stuff doesn't really, you know, that's not what they're interested in. Once they're on a break and if they get a sniff on goal, 9 times out of 10, they're tucking it in. They're dispatching it, they're scoring. Kane, Son are just on fire right now. And that was just literally the game. Harry Kane and Son each scored and provided an assist as Tottenham Hotspur won 3-0 against Leeds United to go third. Leeds started stronger as Alioski hit the side netting in the 4th minute, but then Spurs won a penalty in the 29th minute when Alioski himself fouled Steven Bergwijn on the edge of the area, which then Kane converted his 10th league goal of the season. But not just content with goals, on the 43rd minute Kane crossed in for Son to score his 2nd with a sweeping finish. It was Son's 100th goal in all competitions for Spurs and the 13th time the pair have combined this season, which is now a joint Premier League record. Toby Alderweireld confirmed the win with a header from Son's corner 5 minutes after the break, which didn't mean that Leeds were down and buried as they still continued to fret, but failed to score in an away match for the first time this season. Matt Doherty's stoppage time red card for his 2nd bookable offence was the only negative for Spurs, who are now in 3rd place with 29 points, 4 points behind Liverpool and Manchester United, with Leeds currently sitting 6 points behind in 12th place. Now this is so funny to me because not like literally in the before these rounded games, Spurs were sitting in 7th place and they were getting abused. Oh, what's happening with the title race? You're 7th, 1 win, shot them back up to 3rd. And this is what I'm just saying, man. The league is tight. The points are tight. You get 2 wins and a bounce, man, they're pushing it. Spurs will be up there, definitely either or, level on points with Man United and Liverpool, or even leading the table. So it's good to see how the shifts and the ups and downs is happening in the league. But man, you got to look at the points, man. Look at the points, and that will give you a better picture on what's going on right now. And now moving on to Friday's round of games, starting off with the first match that kicked off game week 17, Man United versus Aston Villa. And let me say this from early, United fans, I can hear you guys, man. Slowly you're starting to believe. You're starting to believe in Ollie a bit, and you're starting to believe in the team that you could actually push for this title. You know, at least challenge for the title, and it's open season. because no one's really staking their claim. Liverpool are dropping points. And wait, look at where you are now. Look at where you are now. Bruno Fernandes's penalty earned Manchester United a 2-1 win over Aston Villa to put them level on points with leaders Liverpool. Man United took the lead in the 40th minute at Old Trafford when Anthony Martial headed home a Aaron Wan-Bissaka cross. Villa leveled just before the hour mark as Jack Grealish crossed in for Bertrand Traore to score for the third time this season. But the hosts just took 3 minutes to regain the lead, with Fernandes converting from the penalty spot after Paul Pogba was brought down by Douglas Luiz. Emiliano Martinez then made a stunning save to deny Martial and Fernandes before Tyrone Mings passed up a late chance to claim a point when he headed Matty Cash's free kick wide. This was actually an English league record with Man United's 36th victory on New Year's Day, which has put them second on goal difference with Liverpool. But this isn't so bad for Villa, who lost their first game in 6 matches, who are now currently sitting in 6th place. Villa are alright, man. They're doing their thing. They can't complain. They ain't got nothing to worry about. They're kicking ball. They're playing very well. Jack Grealish is doing his thing as per usual. But Man United, I don't think they would have thought the beginning of the season that they would be sitting in 2nd place, neck and neck with Liverpool. And if they continue their form like this, just keep winning. The good thing about United is the fact that their away record is crazy. If they start getting their home form on point, hey, they could be serious contenders, you know. Serious contenders. Now, I know a lot of Man United fans will be like, nah, or maybe you are agreeing. Maybe you do see your team actually pushing for the lead this season. Put your comments down below. Let me know. I'll be interested to find out how you lot are feeling about sitting in 2nd place with Liverpool currently on 33 points. Hey, you can't complain, man. Ollie is doing his thing. Is he back at the wheel? You guys let me know, man. But quickly, before I move on, the penalty though, man. Please, man, someone let me know, man. Was that a penalty or was that... Well, it wasn't a dive, but for me personally, I felt like he tripped over his foot. But a load of my friends that we've analysed it and say, nah, the defender's Douglas Luiz's stride as he was running with him, he clipped him. But for me, I felt like it was more like Pogba clipped the defender rather than it being the other way around, and then obviously tripped over on his own feet. But then there was a penalty awarded. VAR also was happy enough to award the penalty. And these are the things that Jurgen Klopp right now is just saying, boy, you got the likes of Mane getting, nudged in the box and there's no penalty. And then similar circumstances with Pogba and Man United get the penalty. Now, I'm not saying that, all of these penalties that United get are not valid and they're not real penalties, but on this occasion, yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, put your comments down below, let me know, man. Give me your perspective. What do you think? Was it a penalty or it wasn't a penalty? And now moving on, last but not least, Everton versus West Ham as the Toffees lost 1-0 to the Hammers. And like my boy Sems from Views TV Official, everyone's a pundit, always says and is always calling Everton the big pretenders. Because how are you going to lose 1-0 to West Ham at home? And you've got all of those players, the likes of DCL, Rodriguez, Alan, Decore, all of these players. I thought, man, they're going to be doing bits. Well, Thomas Souček scored a late winner as West Ham triumphed to a 1-0 win at Everton in the first Premier League match of 2021. In a somewhat cagey first half, Bernard forced a flying save from goalkeeper Darren Randolph, a late replacement for Lucas Fabianski in West Ham's starting 11. Everton then brought on James Rodriguez after the break, but they were still unable to create an opportunity for Dominic Calvert-Lewin to add to his 11th goal of the season. West Ham also had a chance to go ahead just after the hour mark, only for Pablo Fornals to head Jarrod Bowen's cross just wide. But Souček made no mistake in the 86th minute as he converted at the back post after Aaron Cressor's shot had taken a deflection off Yerry Mina. The midfielder's 5th goal of the season gave David Moyes his first win at Everton since he left Goodison Park in 2013. West Ham stay 10th in the Premier League but still have the same amount of points with 5th place Chelsea. Everton are currently 3 points high in 4th after their 5-match unbeaten run came to an end. But this is what I was saying, in 10th position but currently on the same points as Chelsea. So it's anybody's ball game this season. If you get the wins, and my thing is if you get them like successively, you get them in a row, back to back, then you can mount a really good charge, whether it's a European place, Europa, whether it's Champions League, or if you're actually trying to push for that league title, you can do it, but you've got to be consistent. Consistency is key this season. I can really see it, and with the fears of a possible, you know, obviously with the lockdown, and maybe even with a break in the season after a high number of COVID tests that have come back positive. So who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? So you really need to get these points on the board, because if there is a break, we all saw what Project Restart was all about. A lot of teams that were really pushing for the league started stumbling. The likes of Leicester, you've seen obviously Sheffield United now. They were all stumbling in the season. Man, I don't know. There's all to be played for. Just get the wins and you'll see what happens. Now, before I leave, we've got to look at the league table, because I've been talking it up throughout the whole show, and I need you to see how, if you're not really paying attention, look how close everything is points-wise. So don't follow the league like standings or where you are, whether, you know, what league position you are. Look at the points. As you can see here, you know, Liverpool, Man United on 33 points up there. Then you've got Leicester on 32 points, and then the rest, 29, 29, 29. Then you can see some 26. It's tight, man. Like I said, a few wins back-to-back or a few losses back-to-back, you're either going up or you're going down. And it's crazy, because if you look at it, Arsenal, 23 points, and Liverpool on 33 points. So 10 points difference. And I would never have thought that I could actually say through, you know, at this point of the season, with all that Arsenal's gone through, that they're only 10 points behind Liverpool. Hey, man. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to be doing anything this season, but all I'm just saying is, like, if you stay consistent, if Arsenal can stay consistent, or whatever team you're supporting, if you stay consistent, you might be able to amount to something. Well, apart from Sheffield United, though. Anyway, that's a wrap for today, but let me know if there was any standout moments that you enjoyed or you didn't enjoy, or if there was any particular games that you liked or you didn't like. For me this week, I'm going to be a bit biased. Well, I'm going to be very biased. Arsenal beating West Brom 4-0 in some real, Serbian kind of conditions with the snow and everything like that. But, you know, the Iceman himself, Kieran Tierney, with the opener. And then, you know, the combination between Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe and Lacazette to score that goal that Saka scored. So that goal in itself, and all the talk about Sam Allardyce being able to, you know, he's got Arsenal's number due to his Bolton days and all of that kind of stuff. And the fact that there was talk about Arsenal being in a relegation battle. So it was really good to see Arsenal just put them to the sword. And West Brom are just, they're going to be struggling this season. I feel like they're doing worse than they were under Slaven Bilic, but who knows and who cares really. Man United, obviously equal on points with Liverpool. Who would have thought at the beginning of the season that they'll be, you know, neck and neck with the champions? So that's good to see. A bit of rivalry there might add some spice to the season, so who knows. Chelsea shagging. Frank Lampard needs to come up with some ideas quick, because it's looking a bit bleak for him right now. So all in all, that's been a standout week for me. Anyway, let me know how you felt about game week 17. Did your team win, lose or draw? And also, how well are they doing so far this season? Put your comments down below and let me know. Also, remember to like, comment and subscribe. And if you need further information about future episodes, just check me out on Instagram, and I'm also on Twitter, which is @sports. I'll pull it down below here, @sports, and I'll also leave in my description. Also, remember to check out the main show itself, @sports. That's where I talk about all things sports related, hot topics and trending stories. So I'll leave the link in the description so that you'll be able to check that out as well. Until the next time here on @sports Premier League review, peace.